herself, getting lots of RBIs for the Lady Vols.
So a 9-5 victory, Tennessee was able to hold off Texas despite the late rally in the 7th inning for the Longhorns. And again, a combined 6 home runs. Really impressive to see that.
Yes, that's going to be a big challenge for the pitchers today, is trying to work off what happened on Friday and try to keep the ball in the park today.
Gorgeous weather for today's ball game. Maybe a little chilly once again, so we could see more home runs coming up as Tennessee will go in the circle with Ashley Rogers. She was very impressive yesterday, getting the win against BYU.
Yeah, she did an excellent job working ahead in the count, being able to really utilize her strongest pitches, which includes that spinny rise ball.
11 strikeouts again, mid to high 60s. And what do you mean by spinny rise that she works with?
What that means is she's going to be able to work the ball down in the zone and throw that rise ball for a strike, as well as working it up out of the zone for that strikeout pitch.
We are ready for softball again on this nice weather. It's maybe a little cool. Temperatures in the low 50s, but still a nice day for softball as Tennessee faces Texas for a second time this weekend. Hathaway's at the top of the order for the Longhorns, followed by Janae Jefferson leading this team with a .467 average. And then we'll see Iakopo, Burke, Rhodes, Ellis, who pitched against Tennessee on Friday, in the lineup as well as the designated player. 0-1. Just fell, now 0-2, and we saw a lot of strikeouts yesterday for Ashley Rogers as she collected 11 in the ball game and fouling most of them to get strike 3. It seemed to be the rise ball.
Yes, that is her go-to pitch, and I'm interested to see how today's going to go, her second time seeing these Texas batters.
Already ahead in the count. There's the rise, it went high, Hathaway laid off.
Hathaway actually started that late rally for the Texas Longhorns, getting the home run over the right field wall at the top of the 7th.
And the foul ground, there's Segrin off balance. She's able to hang on, and there's the first out. Chelsea Segrin at third base also caught the final out yesterday against BYU. So Hathaway retired to begin the game.
Looks like Segrin may have had a little trouble with the sun as well, and then just luckily was able to get the glove underneath it.
Chelsea Segrin, Tennessee's third baseman, had injuries last weekend that kept her out of the Florida series. It's been solid this week. Now it's Janae Jefferson at the plates. .467 average. What a clutch hitter she has been this season for the Longhorns.
She is very clutch. She has that power to hit the ball into the grass, but she can leg out an infield hit. And she did that on Friday against the Vols twice.
Showed bunt. Ball and a strike to Jefferson. Jefferson really impressive. Coming into the weekend, she led the Big 12 and was second in all of NCAA Division I softball with 39 hits, and now she's up to 43 hits this weekend. Just a real table setter. More of a slap hitter. Rogers again gets to 2 strikes quickly on a Texas batter. Tried to go low that time. 2-2. When she's staying below the strike zone, what is she working with?
She's going to come with probably a little bit more of an off speed. It's going to kind of drop out at the bottom of the zone and get the batters out front on their front foot.
2-2. High in the air to left, battling the sun. Holcomb, she's got it, and they're 2 away. So Jenna Holcomb patrols left field for Tennessee. A couple of pop-outs so far induced by Rogers. It's Holcomb, Hannon, and Bearden in the outfield. Hannon in center, Bearden in right. Around the infield, we've already seen one play made by Segrin at third base, Osborne at short, Leach at second, Ashley Morgan's at first. And catching once again is Kaylee Phillips. Yesterday was her first game catching for Tennessee. Pretty impressive, especially worked well with Rogers. Fly out to right by Iakopo, ends the inning. Texas got the ball in the air but could not score. Lady Vols to the plate when we come back. Only a freshman, Shaylin O'Leary, has been certainly impressive for Texas, and now today a big opportunity as she gets a start against the 5th-ranked Lady Vols. Native of California, already 7-0 this season. This will be her 11th appearance, her 9th start. And Fallon, she's got the very impressive 0.43 earn run average.
That is extremely impressive, especially as a freshman and the type of caliber of ball teams that they've been playing early on this season. You know, she has gone 48.2 innings and has only given up 3 earned runs. So what we're going to see from her today is she's going to throw mid to upper 60s with her fastball. She's going to work both sides of the plate, and she's going to mix her speeds really well and be able to throw that changeup in any count.
Good opportunity for Shaylin O'Leary. She'll be facing a potent Tennessee lineup that features at the top of the order Aubrey Leach, leading hitter on this team, hitting .493. She'll be followed by Segern, and then Phillips. Middle of the order features Bearden, who's had a couple of home runs this weekend, Osborne, Morgan, and then at the bottom of the order, Hannon, Ayala, and Holcomb. Tennessee's batting order is really similar to what we saw yesterday against BYU and also similar to the first game against Texas on Friday. Leach hopes to get Tennessee going against the Longhorns, win 1 for 2 at the plate on Friday. First pitch from O'Leary. Ball 1.
And you'll see the third baseman's kind of squeezing her in a little bit because her first at bat against Texas on Friday, she beat out an infield bunt single.
Tremendous speed. Showed the bunt there and takes a strike. Upper part of the zone, now 1-2.
So you're going to see O'Leary come here with a high outside screwball, just nipping that corner for a strike.
Just fouled on the third base line off the bat of Leach. Ball and 2 strikes to the Tennessee second baseman. Couple of homers, 12 runs batted in for Aubrey Leach. Now in her senior season, has the captain C on the sleeve of her jersey. She has been a great leader for the Lady Vols. Just a foul ball, but Rhodes is ready to make the play at third base. Again, playing in with Leach at the plate.
That's right. You got to squeeze her to be able to take away that infield hit opportunity.
4th in the league in average runs scored, tied for 10th in hits, but she's getting on base, 6th in the conference at .609 on base percentage. Works the count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It was a nice little off speed down in the zone, but Leach doing a good job taking the pitch for a ball and working the count. I think this is going to be her 6th pitch of the at-bat, so she's giving all her teammates in the dugout a kind of scouting report of what O'Leary has.
Upper outside corner rings her up looking. Now a quick conversation to tell Segern what to look out for.
Yeah, so O'Leary's going to come back with that high outside screwball and just gets it for a strike at the very top of the zone. That's a tough one to take, but the umpire must like that up in the zone pitch.
Here's Segern. Diving stop Jefferson, but softball rolled into shallow right, and Segern is aboard. First hit for Tennessee.
Segern does a good job kind of pushing this ball through. She doesn't make solid contact, but she is strong enough to kind of squeeze it through that 4-3 hole.
Segern keeps on hitting, entered the ball game at a .481 average, second only to Aubrey Leach. Now an opportunity for Kaylee Phillips, runner at first, 1 out. Fouls off the first pitch from O'Leary. Phillips up to 9 home runs, 25 runs batted in. Big game against BYU on Thursday. He's continuing to swing a hot bat for Tennessee. Got away from Iacopo to the backstop. That was a foul ball, so Segrin will have to go back to first base. Lauren Nesteric, home plate umpire.
And so she threw that screwball high up and in and just hit the bottom of the bat. And the bat and the hands count as one. So if it makes contact with the ball, it will be counted as a strike.
What have you liked so far about O'Leary?
Getting ahead in the count. You know, I think that was another thing for Texas that they struggled with. They allowed 7 free passes on Friday. And what that does for Tennessee is it allows them to get up in the box. It's going to allow them to get to the lineup a little more quickly and get to see their pitchers more. So Texas needs to cut down on the free passes today.
Now we're hitting Phillips at the plate, the 2-2. Just off the outside corner, full counts. Oh, really? O'Leary. She had a no-hitter against Longwood. Only used 40 pitches to get it done. It's only allowed 3 earned runs over her 48 2/3 innings. Also had that immaculate inning at Sam Houston State. 3 strikeouts on 9 pitches. That's high, and that's a walk. Only the 6th she has issued this year.
Next up for the Lady Vols, right fielder number 11,
St. Patrick's Day.
Haley Bearden.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Green tie on. Now there will be a quick trip to the circle as Coach White and this Texas group trying to get O'Leary on track, knowing this is a dangerous situation because Bearden has been excellent this weekend. Today at 5 Eastern, 4 Central will have the second game of the big 3-game series between number 7 Florida and number 8 LSU in Baton Rouge. SEC softball also available on the ESPN app so you can watch anywhere. Speaking of St. Patrick's Day cheer, the Lady Vol Locos are decked out in all the green and orange they can find. They helped welcome the Lady Vols onto the field before the ball game. Festive group, fun group.
They are. I need to borrow some of their green. I completely forgot about it being St. Patrick's Day today, so I hope I don't get pinched.
Well, Haley Bearden would love to knock another home run. She's had 2 on the weekend. Yesterday, it was a 2-run blast by her that turned Tennessee's 2-0 lead into a 4-0 lead, and we've just seen her play with so much confidence this year.
She's been doing a great job. She's seeing the ball so well. I can only imagine it's looking like a beach ball for her up there.
Senior at the plate, freshman in the circle. Is just low. Bearden last year only had 7 hits. This year already she has 7 home runs. Hasn't seen much playing time during her time on Rocky Top this season, really. Hard work that she did going into the year has paid off. 2-0. Seven homers, 20 runs batted in for Bearden. Knocks it foul, 2-2. I love the players that have waited for an opportunity. Maybe some consistent playing time has kept her from achieving her full potential her first few years, but again, making the most of this opportunity.
Right, that just shows the tenacity that she has.
Just down the glove, still 2-2.
Definitely looked like she was swinging for the fences on that one.
Just foul right to Ralph Weekly off his foot, third base coach and co-head coach of the Lady Vols. There's Ralph. O'Leary trying to put away Bearden. A lot of pitches for her in this first inning, still just 1 out. Got her swinging. Back to the heat, it looked like. Bearden retired on strikes. Ralph Weekly, he and his wife Karen, co-head coaches here at Tennessee. Over 1,000 wins in his tenure. A lot of trips to Oklahoma City, and that's where he hopes to bring this group at the end of the season back to the Women's College World Series. Two away for Osborne. Two on. Right to third, right to Rhodes, and that closes out the inning as Tennessee strands two on base. Second inning coming up. No score.
There was one hit, no errors, one left on.
No score reaching the top of the second. Mike White, the Longhorns head coach. It only his first season at the University of Texas after he had a great tenure at Oregon, including last year getting the Ducks to the Women's College World Series. Also last year, a Pac-12 title. They were the #1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament. Great success for him in Eugene.
Yeah, he definitely put Oregon on the map, and clearly he's a big impact coach. He has brought that impact he made at Oregon to Texas and has made a big turnaround in the program pretty quickly.
There are a lot of resources, of course, at Oregon, but he goes to Texas, a job that was very attractive to him, not only based in Austin, Texas. You get a lot of recruits that are close by in the area, but just all the resources Texas had made that a very attractive offer for him.
Yes, he said one of the biggest things was having that Longhorn network. That is definitely something that they can use for recruiting purposes and getting their games broadcasted every single day.
So he's got his team here in Knoxville this weekend, closing out play in the Tennessee Invitational. Strike to Burke to begin this inning. We'll see Lauren Burke, then Rhodes, then LSU to the plate. Speaking of Burke and Eugene, Oregon, she was at Oregon last year, then transferred. And the 4 players had transferred from Oregon to Texas to come over with Coach White. Last year, Burke, a Pac-12 all-freshman team selection, hit .351, 9 extra base hits, including 3 homers, and 17 runs batted in. Rogers back in the strike zone, 1-2. Rogers pitched to contact in the last inning, no strikeouts. A couple of pop-ups and a fly-out ended a pretty quick first inning for her. Now the 1-2. Just low, 2-2. Burke not only came to Texas from Oregon, where she'd been playing college softball. She's a native of Eugene, Oregon as well, so left her hometown school essentially to go to Austin. Popped, foul. Still 2-2. Foul. So again, 4 players came over from Oregon to Texas, transferring after the coaching change was made and Mike White came here. Ellis, Burke, Ikopo, and Rhodes. And they've all really produced well for the Longhorns so far.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. They have combined for 13 of the team's 21 home runs.
Pops this up. It'll be Osborne for the first out. And when we talked to them earlier this week, it was not like he just recruited all of them at once to try and come to Texas. These are the players he had to bring. He said each that transferred over was a case-by-case basis based on what Texas needed.
Right. Each one kind of filled a gap that Texas had. Like he was looking for a power pitcher and a power hitter. And so he was kind of pulling and picking from what he had at Oregon to kind of fill in those holes at Texas.
Now Shannon Rhodes to the plate. Rhodes, another one of the Oregon Ducks, turned Texas Longhorns. She's a native of Texas, though, from Fort Worth. High and foul out of play. What is Rogers having success with to get so many pop-ups like we've seen?
It's, again, that spinny rise. So she's working that rise ball a little bit lower in the zone than we saw yesterday with BYU, but it has so much spin on it that they're not making good contact, and so it's just giving them easy outs to the infield.
Now the pitch. Popped out the other way this time. And fans get to exchange the softball they get for another one from the marketing staff. Going to keep softballs in play. What a good souvenir. Rogers looking for that first strikeout. Look at it here as that's deep to right. There is Bearden, and there are 2 away.
Next up for the Longhorns, the DP number 40, Miranda Ellish.
Rogers has set down 5 in a row to begin this game. Now Ellish pitched against Tennessee. Also hit a home run on Friday. To left. There's Holcomb with a running grab, and this inning is over. More fly ball outs, and the Longhorns set down an order again by Rogers. Tennessee to the plate in a moment.
Softball fans, let's give a warm welcome to our group.
Scoreless game. Lady Vols to the plate in the bottom of the 2nd inning here at Sherry Parker Lee Stadium. It's a little cool, but still great to have no clouds in the sky, sunshine covering the field. Tennessee led by Ralph and Karen Weekly. Karen Weekly, her 23rd season, again their 18th season as Tennessee co-head coaches. Made the trip to Oklahoma City for the Women's College World Series 7 times, twice got close, 2007 and 2013, losing in the finals to first Arizona, then Oklahoma, but they built a special program here, and just every single year, their talent on the roster just reloads. They've done such a great job in recruiting.
They have, and I think I heard Madison Chipman talk about them earlier this weekend, saying that they're kind of like a good 1-2 punch duo. Karen is very much on the statistical side and is very into the numbers, and Coach Ralph Weekly is just all about, like, let's get out there and play.
Right to second, Jefferson will throw out Morgan to start Tennessee's 2nd inning in the plate. That's got to be a fun dynamic. They've done a wonderful job here, along with Marty McDaniel, pitching coach. Led some great pitchers during his time, including Monica Abbott, the best ever wear the orange and white, and softball. Now Kaylin Hannon, homered against Texas on Friday. Bunted fell for strike 1 against O'Leary. Hannon hitting .333, 3 homers, 10 runs batted in. Another player with a lot of improvement. Didn't see much playing time last year, only 10 hits, no home runs, but already it's just March 17th, 9 hits and 3 home runs. She's found her power swing. Fouled back, 1-2. Another look back at the home run she had on Friday against the Longhorns. Good line drive shot. That's one thing I'm going to notice as well about Tennessee's home runs. They're not all high, booming home runs. They're kind of that low liner that goes right over the wall quickly. Up the middle, Tennessee's 2nd hit. This one courtesy of Hannon. One out base runner for the Lady Vols. Reagan Hathaway patrols center field.
Now batting for the orange and white, the DP number 13.
So once again, O'Leary sets down the first batter, but then the second batter reaches base with a single.
Yeah, and Ayala, that she's facing now, has been struggling a little bit here recently, so she needs to be aggressive and go right at her and get an out.
Slowly chopped foul for strike 1 to Amanda Ayala. Bloomfield, New Jersey. We got Tennessee. Average now at .407, but like you mentioned, a couple of tough games this weekend for her. Now 0-2.
So you're going to see O'Leary work up in the zone, away, getting Ayala swinging just underneath it.
Rise ball missed upstairs, 1-2. Only in her freshman season, went to Valencia High School, had 89 wins in her high school career with 882 career strikeouts. Very strong resume. It's fouled back, still a ball and 2 strikes. Her mom was also a softball player, was a catcher at Wichita State in the late 90s. Now her 1-2. Jefferson makes the grab. No chance to double up Hannon at first. Now 2 away. Jenna Holcomb gets a scouting report. See what she can do with 2 outs.
Batting for Tennessee, left fielder number 2, Jenna Holcomb.
And ball 1. Holcomb was a pinch hitter for Tennessee on Friday against Texas. Was 0-for-1 her only time up. Saw her at the bottom of the order yesterday, driving Tennessee's last run with an RBI single in the first inning. Bounce foul. Tennessee had a 5-run bottom of the first, then did not score in the rest of the game at the plate. So counting the first inning, that's 6 innings in a row Tennessee's not scored.
Right. They have been doing a great job getting on the board early. They need to try to pick it up and make sure that they're not letting off the gas throughout the game, and they're pushing runs across throughout.
To third. Rhodes gets the out, and the inning is over. O'Leary, a couple of scoreless frames. We're still all knotted up. 0-0 to the third. Scoreless games so far between Texas and Tennessee. Seen some good pitching already by 2 outstanding freshmen for Lady Vols in the circle. It's Ashley Rogers. She has faced the minimum so far, and yesterday had those 11 strikeouts, but today has mostly been pitching in contacts, fly ball outs for Texas.
That's right. She's doing a great job getting ahead in the count and working that rise ball down in the zone a little bit, but still spinning it pretty fast to make those Texas hitters give those easy fly outs.
Now she'll face 3 lefty batters due to the plate. In the top of the third inning, as the bottom third of the order is up, Washington, Parker, and then Heiter, all due to the plate. First up, Caitlin Washington hitting .319. Parker waits on deck. Pop that up, but well foul. Getting a lot of foul pop-ups as well. Rogers also pitched against Texas, worked 3 innings, allowed 3 runs on 4 hits, had to walk 2 strikeouts on Fridays. She's had a very long weekend of pitching, not much time for rest.
Yeah, she has. She's definitely been a workhorse for the Lady Vols this weekend.
Fouled over our heads. Now it remains a no ball, 2 strike counts. Washington hitting .319. Last year, second team All Big 12 Conference, was all freshman team member in 2017 in the Big 12. Now 1-2. She was the top slugger on the team last year, slugged .513. Second on the team in batting average at .359. Rogers looking for that first strikeout. Nearly got it, just a bit high.
Yeah, try to get her to chase that rise ball up in the zone, but Washington was not going to bite. It's
been good scouting by Texas so far to lay off that pitch in terms of swinging and missing like maybe BYU did a little bit yesterday. They've been looking for it, and that's why we've seen the contact.
Yeah, Texas has done a good job of putting the bat on the ball. She's still throwing that rise ball, but maybe throughout their second time through the lineup, they may be able to make a little bit of adjustment and stay on top of the ball a little more and hit line drives.
Missed ties. Really just came out of the hand a bit too loose, and high rise ball from Rogers in danger of a walk, and it's one thing she did avoid yesterday. No walks, 11 strikeouts against BYU. And she walks the leadoff batter, Washington, to begin the third. Leadoff walk gives Mackenzie Parker an opportunity. She's got 7 runs batted in this year. Has hit .357 when she's been in the lineup. Right to short, bobbled there by Osborne, then the ball gets away into right field. Everyone continues to be safe. Wave given around to Washington. Here comes the throw home. It's cut off. Texas in front, 1-0 here in the third.
So you see that bobble there. Once you bobble the ball, you got to keep your composure, and you got to know that you got to go one on that. You can't be thinking that you can still get the lead runner. Once the bobble has been made, the one that's running to second is definitely going to be safe. So you got to take your time and adjust and get the out at one.
Next up, right fielder number 10, KK Hyder.
So Osborne with the error. Texas plates its first run. So for Rogers, she had been cruising right along, hadn't allowed a base runner in 2 innings. Then a walk, then an error, and already 2 batters faced, a run scored. Tennessee's down. Bunt popped up, diving attempt by Segrin, just couldn't make the grab.
It was nice hustle there by Segrin.
It's completely laid out. KK Heiter.
She's a threat at the plate because she is confident enough to bunt with 2 outs. She attempted to bunt with 2 strikes the other night.
Showed it again. She's also got some of the best speed on the team. 10 stolen bases, has not been caught stealing this year. From Nacogdoches, Texas. Gets on base at a .382 clip. Swings away. Now down to her last strike at 1-2. Parker at second. Now 2-2. Thought that was going to be the first strike. Nope. They even made a late appeal to Lyndon Baptiste, the third base umpire, but no swing. Not a bad pitch either by Rogers.
No, she threw that rise ball again, just down in the zone a little bit, but still a little too high for the umpire's liking.
This time away from the strike zone, gets the out. They do record the put out at first base, so there's the first strikeout of the game for Ashley Rogers.
Yeah, Rogers does a great job coming there with an off speed, basically pulling the string on that ball and having it drop down out of the zone for the strikeout.
Really good job by Kaylee Phillips behind the plate for Tennessee, also to record that put out at first base. And sometimes defensive errors can be contagious, it seems like, in softball. So after Osborne's error, just to get rid of that, like a solid throw to first was big. Thursday, we'll have SEC baseball for you at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Number 7 Florida takes on second-ranked Vanderbilt in the first game of a big 3-game series at Hawkins Field in Nashville. It's right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere. At the top of the order to the plate, going up against Rogers for a second time, it's Reagan Hathaway first up. She popped up to third base. What do you think the Longhorns learned about Rogers that first trip through the order?
They're probably going to try to do a little bit better job of keeping their hands up above the ball so they can make solid contact and try to hit more line drives.
Right down the middle for a strike. Stop made. The out at first. Parker was running to throw to third. She's back in safely there, so Leach will throw out Hathaway. On the ground out, Parker takes third base safely. Two gone.
That was a big play by Leach, keeping that ball in the infield and able to get the out at first and keep the runner from scoring.
Next batter for the Longhorns, second baseman number 2, Janae Jefferson.
Longhorns already with the lead. Now they got a runner at third, 2 gone, and their best hitter to the plate this season, Janae Jefferson. Leading the Big 12 in hitting. One and up. 2 outs, but that's really not a big deal at all for Texas. Nearly half of their runs batted in 2 out scenarios this year.
And that just shows how well that they can keep their composure and not allow themselves to feel like they got to put any extra pressure on them because there are 2 outs.
That's low. 2-0 to Jefferson. And again, the Longhorns hitting .343 with 2 outs, 73 runs batted in. So again, 47%, just really impressive what they've been able to do in the toughest spot. We asked Coach White about that approach, and he said, it's just always a good mindset. He said, I'd love to have that same mindset with 1 out, but sometimes when the pressure is on, athletes perform. Quick circle visit from Ralph Weekly. Didn't say many words, but I can guarantee you 2 of them were throw strikes.
I can guarantee that. I was about to say, Rogers behind here in the count 2-0 with a runner on third. He's like, you cannot throw balls. Get ahead in the count so we can work our best pitches.
Now Rogers behind in the count 2-0. You don't want to put Jefferson on. Some big bats coming up like Copo, Burke, and Rhodes. After the visit, comes back with a strike. That's exactly what the Weeklies wanted to see. Rogers putting together a solid year as a freshman. Just missed inside, 3-1. Just go back to the rise ball here, try and stay in the zone, or maybe just fastball down the middle.
We definitely don't want to do a fastball down the middle. I see, rise ball, she definitely has the most control over that, so I could definitely see a low rise coming in the zone here.
Tried to stay low, just missed a little bit below. Didn't miss by much, though. Second walk of the inning.
So Rogers is going to come low and outside. I'm not sure what was wrong with that pitch. That looks a little too good to take. It must have just missed just off the plate.
Another opportunity with 2 outs for Texas. Another strong hitter to the plate, Mary Iacopo. 5 homers, 21 runs batted in for her this year. And she got some good contacts last time up in the first inning. Flew out to deep right field to Bearden. Ball 1. strike. Rogers really having to grind through this inning. All started with the leadoff walk. Jack swing, and that was a pretty good location as well. No swing from the first base umpire Shane Jackson on the appeal, so now it's 2-1. Big difference between 2-1 and 1-2 in this moment.
Yeah, when the pitcher is ahead in the count, she's able to throw the pitches that she knows best, and she's going to make those batters adjust to what she's wanting to throw. But when the batter is ahead in the count, they're more relaxed, and they know that pitcher's going to have to bring the ball in the zone.
Now it's just fouled, 2-2. Mentioned Iacopo against Tennessee, a home run on Friday. Big swing.
Iacopo gets her 5th home run of the season Friday in the top of the 7th for a late rally by the Texas Longhorns that came up short.
One of the Oregon Ducks that made their way to Texas. Second team all Pac-12 a year ago. Base hit. Parker scores. It's an RBI single by Iacopo that makes it 2-0 Texas in the 3rd. Another run batted in with 2 outs.
So she gets just enough of this just to flare it over the bag into shallow center field, just enough to poke it through the infield to score another run for Texas.
Now Lauren Burke. Quickly to Leach. And that's the inning. However, the Longhorns strike a pair of runs in this top of the 3rd against Rogers. It's now Tennessee trailing Texas 2-0 in Knoxville. Tennessee with some work to do, trailing Texas by a 2-0 score, going to the bottom of the 3rd. But the top of the order will be up at the plate for Tennessee, including Aubrey Leach, Chelsea Segern, and Kaylee Phillips. And in terms of the SEC hitting leaders this year, you have Aubrey Leach, 4th in the conference, that sparkling .492 average. What great work she's doing at the top of the order.
She's doing a great job, and a part of that comes from her being a multifaceted hitter, because she is so fast that she can lay down bunts, she can beat out infield hits, but she can also hit for power.
Try and get it going against Shaylin O'Leary. 2 scoreless innings, has a lot of pair of hits. She's also be able to base runner in each frame. She starts with the strike. One ball, 1 strike on Leach, who struck out looking her first at bat and may have been really fooled by O'Leary on the called 3rd strike in the upper outside corner of the zone.
I think so. And O'Leary remembered that and came with that the very first pitch of this at bat against Leach.
Outside there, 2-1. Texas has been waiting for the right moment for O'Leary to face Tennessee. Did not pitch in the ball game on Friday. Line foul, 2-2. I'm sure for her as a freshman, she's going to relish this opportunity, knowing she's had some success this year in the circle and now gets to take on the number 5 team in the country in their own stadium. She wants to do well. This is a big start for her. Even count. Now 3-2. Allison Bollinger getting some work ready in the bullpen. Saw these two pitch against Tennessee on Friday. It was Ellis who had the start. Leadoff walk. So it sparked a 2-run top of the inning for Texas. Now Leach aboard for Tennessee.
Next up for the Lady Volunteers, third baseman number 17, Chelsea Segern.
Segern to the plate. Now the first pitch. Runner going, or nearly taking off. We saw Leach with a great lead. She's trying to fool Texas, but she fooled me instead.
And that's exactly what you want to do. Every time that you get your lead off a bag, you want to make them think you're going so that they can't tell when you actually are trying to steal.
Just dribbled foul. And the ball and a strike on Segern. She did single, first time up into right field. Solid, consistent hitter. Yesterday, she and Leach both were in the top 5 in SEC batting average. Segern had a relatively quiet game against BYU. Did double in the 5th inning yesterday afternoon. Popped high on the left field line. Washington over, but no play to be made. Into the Tennessee bullpen. O'Leary ahead in the counts. Called third strike. Third strikeout she's had today. All against very good hitters for Tennessee.
Yeah, so O'Leary's going to come again with that high outside screwball just coming off the front corner. It's questionable if it is a strike, but obviously they found out that that umpire likes that in the zone, and she's going to keep going there until the batters make an adjustment.
Now one away, Kaylee Phillips up. Takes strike one. Tennessee fans really not happy right now with the strike zone. Laura Nasiric, home plate umpire. More groans and come-ons from the fans wearing the Tennessee shade of orange. Got Tennessee orange against burnt orange for Texas. It's into center and in for a hit. Phillips puts 2 on for Tennessee. Now another opportunity for Bearden. Now how does O'Leary bounce out of this jam that she finds herself in? Only the 3rd inning, looking for a shutdown inning after she got 2 runs of support in the top of the frame.
You know, she's still doing a great job. You know, that hit right there by Phillips wasn't a great one. It was a great pitch, but O'Leary just supplies a lot of power. So even if you get the handle on the ball, you can still just kind of push it and pop it just into the outfield where no one can get it. So she just needs to stick to the game plan. No need to panic.
This is high to Bearden. Bearden struck out swinging, and in that last strikeout for her, she had some big swings like she wanted another home run. Two on, just 1 out. There's a strike. Snap throw to second as well. Tag was applied. Thought the runner Leach safe. Bearden playing with a lot of confidence in her senior year, really turning into the player that Ralph and Karen Weekland always thought she would be here at Tennessee. Right to first. 1 out there. Burke made a nice play. Runners do advance. Now Leach at third base and Phillips at second. That's also the 2nd out of the inning. Lead runner Aubrey Leach. Phillips also at second.
Gracie Osborne.
So it's up to Gracie Osborne. Had an error defensively at shortstop that helped Texas grab its first run. Hit into the final out of forced out back in the first. Also with 2 runners on base. Texas already grabbing a run with 2 outs. Tennessee would like to replicate that 2-out magic that the Longhorns have had all season. Right to third. Rhodes throws out Osborne, and the inning is over. Again, Tennessee strands 2 on base, and the Lady Vols haven't scored through 3 innings against O'Leary. Texas up 2-0 on Tennessee to the 4th. We're joined by Texas head coach Mike White. And, Coach, in the last inning, your ball club with 2 runs, second time through the order against Ashley Rogers. What did you see in that last inning?
Well, I think we're getting some pretty good looks at her. She changes speeds well, moves the ball around, so it's a little difficult. But we're able to come through with a big 2-out hit right there, and so that was big for us.
In regards to the pitching, on Friday night, your pitching staff gave up 7 walks. So what was the game plan for O'Leary coming into the game today against Tennessee?
Keep it simple, throw strikes, But, no, really, we got to attack, and we can't let good hitters get more looks at you, and that's what's been happening to us. And, Shay is, she's doing great for a freshman. She's just out there throwing the pitches we call.
Coach, thank you for joining us. We'll let you get back to work.
You're welcome. Hook 'em.
Special thanks to Mike White, Texas head coach, now in his first season. Obviously part of the culture now at Texas, saying hook 'em horns at the end of the interview. He is building something special again, a place where he's got a lot of resources. The Big 12 is a tough conference, knowing that year in, year out, they've got to go up against Oklahoma, which is just a powerhouse in that league.
It is, and I think that's why he does a tough schedule at the beginning of the season, because he knows he's going to need to have that experience when they get into conference play.
We talk about it a lot with the SEC, where every weekend SEC series feels like a super regional. That isn't always the case in the Big 12. But certainly when Oklahoma's on the schedule, or we know Texas Tech's improving, softball is being elevated in that conference. And high expectations for Texas as well coming into this year. Coach White's team picked to finish 2nd in the league. Baylor's had some good teams of late, too. So Oklahoma picked to finish 1st, and when Texas plays Oklahoma this year, at least that series will be played in Austin. So maybe home field advantage can help out the Longhorns there. Shannon Rhodes leads off this inning, flew out to right, her first time up. But renewed energy for Texas softball, now in the direction of Mike White after his decorated tenure at Oregon. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, a great way for Rogers to start her 4th inning.
She set this pitch up with a changeup right before it, and she was able to come back with her rise ball up and out of the zone like we saw a lot yesterday against BYU.
Now it's Miranda Ellish. Saw her warming up in the bullpen. Not necessarily to take over right away for O'Leary, but just in case she got into some trouble. Now she grabs the bat and is at the plate for a 2nd time, flew out to the left. Back in the 2nd inning. Outstanding 2-way player, doing a great job pitching and hitting for the Longhorns. There's the rise ball that was so effective yesterday.
And again, the rise ball up and breaking away from Ellish, and she just can't catch up to it.
Even count. Long, loud strike 2. Holcomb couldn't get to it in time down the left field line. Here, the Tennessee bullpen that right now is empty. Rogers. Just missed low. Now 2-2, and again, Tennessee fans a little unsure about the strike zone at times today.
I know they're seeing O'Leary get a lot of calls on the outside corner to lefties, and so they're wanting the same for their pitcher as well.
Leach has it. Close at first base, but it's just there in time. 2 gone.
Next up for the Longhorns, left fielder number 25, Caitlin Washington.
Now it's Washington up. It was her walk that she drew to begin the last inning that sparked the 2 runs Texas would score.
You know, anytime you give a free pass to a hitter, they always find a way to score. And we saw that last inning with her reaching base and then an error to follow it up.
Fouls off the first pitch, right back to Phillips. Again, Phillips catching for a second straight day. Tennessee without Allie Shipman for the rest of the year after she had gotten off to a terrific start in her freshman campaign. Tennessee looking for an answer, and last 2 games, it's been pretty impressive what Phillips has done behind the dish. Sure, it's comforting as well to work with Rogers back-to-back days.
Yeah, that catcher-pitcher relationship is so important because they kind of get in each other's head. They know what each other is thinking. And so to have a catcher switch this far into the season is a big deal. But Phillips seems to be handling all the pitchers of the Tennessee staff pretty well.
Shipman injured in the game earlier this week against Middle Tennessee. Now ball and 2 strikes. It's not only adjustment for Tennessee's lineup, but for these Tennessee pitchers. She had been such a great backstop for them and working them through these early tough games in non-conference play. Now they're having to adjust to a new signal caller. 1-2. To Holcomb. She's got it. And the inning is over. Scoreless frame turned in by Rogers. Tennessee back to the plate, trailing 2-0 here at Knoxville. Some good contacts, but for Tennessee, Jenna Holcomb tracked it down. Tennessee trailing Texas 2-0. We go to the bottom of the 4th and say hello to Tennessee co-head coach Karen Weekly. And coach, your team has gotten some runners on base in each inning. What do they need to do to cash in against O'Leary in the circle?
Well, have better at bats, obviously, once we have runners on. You know, she's throwing really well. She throws a pretty heavy ball and just kind of feels like our bats are absorbing the ball rather than, really attacking and getting a good swing on it.
Rogers has done a great job today seeing the Texas hitters for a second time, and she's keeping them off balance. So what was the game plan going into today?
Well, use her pitches a little bit more effectively and use more of them, and I think she's doing a really good job today stretching the zone, working both up and down in the zone and mixing in her changeup really efficiently.
Coach, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Tennessee co-head coach Karen Weekly, nice enough to hop on the headset, going right to the bottom of the 4th inning. I'd love to see her offense get going. Tennessee with 3 hits and already 5 left on base to this point. Tight contest with Texas, going up against the freshman Shaylin O'Leary. Now this inning will start with Morgan, Hannon, and Ayala due to the plate.
First baseman number 7, Ashley Morgan.
First up's Morgan, grounded out to second base. Her first trip to the dish. Low for ball 1 from O'Leary. What have you seen from Tennessee second time through against O'Leary?
I think they're still being pretty selective. They've been going deep into counts, seeing lots of pitches, and especially Morgan herself. She faced Bollinger on Friday, and she had an 11-pitch at bat where she was able to come back and get a 2 RBI single into right field. So they're doing a good job of just seeing a lot of pitches and waiting for one to come into the zone that they can drive.
There's that outside strike. So Tennessee this weekend, the Tennessee Invitational has been jumping out to some early leads, and it's really helped all of these victories. First 3 innings, 11 of the 14 runs against BYU Thursday, 5 of the 9 on Friday, and then yesterday, all 5 runs against BYU scored in the first inning. Jefferson led first out there. Morgan grounding out to Jefferson for a second time at second base. Part of what Coach Weekly was talking about, that heavy ball that O'Leary's been throwing.
Yeah, they just can't get quite solid contact. They seem to be on time. They're just mishitting. Like right there, she might have got out ahead just a little bit on it and hit it more towards the end of the bat and just topped it. One
away. Now here is Hannon to the plate. aggressive and fouling off the first pitch. She singled with 1 out in the second inning. Again, Tennessee has had at least 1 base runner, at least 1 hit in every inning so far. Just trying to cash in, and again, it's a scoreless drought for Tennessee at the plate. Stretching back to yesterday's first inning, that's popped foul. Now Hannon down to her last strike. Now the 0-2. Being aggressive, fouling off another one. O'Leary. Just missed low. Is she mixing up her pitches pretty well too?
She is. She's also working all quadrants. She's working down, she's working up, she's working in, she's working out, and that's what's keeping the UT batters off balance.
Pretty good control. 40 strikes. We're to 20 balls for her 60 pitches to this point. High to the shortstop. Now there are 2 gone. Mackenzie Parker with a grab. 4 in a row set down by O'Leary. Solid start for the freshman on the road against the nation's number 5 team, Tennessee. Amanda Ayala is due up at the plate, but Tennessee will change it up. Tiana Batts will serve as a pinch hitter. Good to get a fresh look at the plate.
It is. You know, Ayala has been struggling this weekend a little bit, maybe not seeing the ball quite as well as she has been this entire preseason. So it's good to get someone else in there, maybe get a rally started.
Now 2 outs, no one on base. So Leary has not had a perfect 1-2-3 inning so far. Outside part of the plate to the lefty batter. We have seen her consistently hit that spot.
Yeah, as a pitcher, you want to find the zone that the umpire is going to give you, and you're going to work it into your benefit.
Outside again, pretty similar location, but this time it's a ball.
It may have been just a smidge further outside, but very similar to the pitch before.
Batts a slap hitter, always gets off to that running start in the box. Chopped foul, now 1-2. Saw for O'Leary a couple of strikeouts in the first inning, but otherwise she's pitched to contact. 2 walks for her as well. Also had a strikeout looking in the third inning against Segern. 0-2. Back to the circle. O'Leary fires her out. That's her first 1-2-3 inning of the game. Nothing doing for the Lady Vols in the 4th. 5th inning coming up. Texas on top, 2-0. 4 scoreless innings turned in by the Texas freshman, Shaylin O'Leary. She's been, at times, dominant on the mound.
She's doing a great job working all the quadrants, and she's definitely hammering that outside corner to those lefties up in this zone, and she's catching them off guard.
Has given up 3 hits, couple of walks to go along with those 3 strikeouts, but kind of in her groove and keeping Tennessee very off balance. Lady Vol offense, it's had some big games during the Tennessee Invitational. Held only 5 runs yesterday. Those are all in the first inning against BYU. So far, no runs for Tennessee.
Mackenzie Parker.
Ashley Rogers back to work. She did allow 2 runs in the top of the 3rd inning to Texas. That's Mackenzie Parker, first to the plate. 2 runs she did allow were unearned runs due to an error by the shortstop Osborne. And there's ball 1 to begin the at-bat of Parker. She was the one that put the bat on the ball. It went to shortstop. It was misplayed by Osborne. That led to the first Texas run. Washington scored from first base on the play. Good movement there, but it's upstairs, 2-0. Aside from that third inning of work where she faced 7 batters, it's been 1, 2, 3 innings for Rogers in the circle. Now behind in the count, 3-0.
Yeah, we're starting to see her get behind a little more than she was at the beginning of the game. So she's got to go back to the game plan, work ahead, so that she can start using that spinning rise ball of hers.
Upstairs strike with a rise ball. Three fly ball outs, 2 ground ball outs, also a pair of strikeouts for Rogers today. First 2 innings, Texas is popping everything up. Just missed there, so a lead-off walk, second time that's happened today for Rogers. Last time was that 2-run top of the third. Maddie Moss warming up in the bullpen. She actually may be coming in here in a moment. She, of course, was able to pick up the victory against Texas on her birthday on Friday. Karen Wakely to the circle. That may be it for Rogers.
It possibly could be. You know, you want to kind of stop it from snowballing. So this is a good time to make a transition to Maddie Moss.
Tonight at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, we'll have our SEC Now selection special where we'll break down the brackets, preview all the games the SEC teams are playing in. You can always watch it on the ESPN app from anywhere. Selection Sunday, St. Patrick's Day, great softball matchup. Just a big, big Sunday here today. Tennessee indeed sticks with Rogers in the circle. Now Alcazar will be the pinch hitter for Texas, Becca Alcazar. In the spot of KK Heiter. That's just inside for a ball. Alcazar from Belton, Texas. Next pitch. Bob's foul. For Alcazar this season, hitting .320, has had a couple of homers. She's got some pop. Texas would love it. A deep fly ball that could turn into a home run. That's the thing. We mentioned all the home runs on Friday. So far, it's been mostly small ball, and the error helped Texas in that third inning. Now 1-2.
So Rogers doing a good job coming back, getting ahead in the count. So now she can work her best pitches here against Alcazar.
Got her. Strikeout, and for Rogers' confidence, that's huge.
So like I said, Rogers does a good job getting ahead in the count. So then she's able to come in with that spinny rise ball up and out of the zone and get Alcazar to chase.
Third time through the order coming up for Texas, represented by Reagan Hathaway. Smacks the first pitch foul for a strike. Hathaway has put the ball in play twice, popped out to third base in the first inning, and then last time up in the third inning, grounded out to Aubrey Leach at second base. Solid hitter, hitting over 400 at the top of the order. Pops this one up. Osborne lost it for a moment in the sun. Tennessee will get the force out at second base, and Hathaway does reach.
You know, we saw Tennessee struggle with the sun a little bit yesterday. You got to be able to get underneath the ball, use your glove to shield the sun, but big heads up by Segern to get the lead out at second.
Now Hathaway at first. She's got really good speed. 4 stolen bases this year.
Janae Jefferson.
Another opportunity for Texas with Janae Jefferson. She was at the plate with a runner on last time up in the third inning, eventually worked a walk before the RBI single by Iacopo. Left field line. Foul ball. Nearly made the grab, lost his cap. But he's all right. Bunted foul. That is strike 2. Another look as this fan had it 2 hands on it, just couldn't hang on. Lost his balance as well. Ball cap at the end, but everything's all right. All smiles.
I like his effort there.
I don't know if that was his daughter that had her hands over her mouth going, oh no. Come on, Dad. Ball and 2 strikes as Rogers tried to work Jefferson away.
Tennessee fans wanting that ball to be called for a strike as they're seeing it being called for O'Leary for Texas.
Rogers. Miss low. Throw to second. Hathaway is safe. 5th stolen bag this year.
Hathaway does a good job getting a good jump and sliding to the back side of the bag, getting underneath the tag.
Well, she's ready to run in scoring position. Texas trying to build on a 2-0 lead. High to left. Tennessee battling the sun again. This time, the center fielder. Hannon with a snow cone grab to end the inning. Longhorns threaten, but do not score in the 5th. Lady Vols to the plate in a moment. 7 Innings is the weekly softball podcast with the ESPN personalities covering the sport, entertaining us all the way to Oklahoma City and beyond. Listen now on the ESPN app, iTunes, or wherever you listen to podcasts. This week they've got freshman pitchers in the spotlight. We'll talk about the 2 we've seen today, O'Leary and Rogers, flipping out over bat flips, and then hashtag shagging stats. So some unique stats will be coming up in that segment. Always look forward to seeing the 7 Innings podcast roll around. Tennessee and Texas would love to have some home runs to try to have some bat flips today. Of course, we saw plenty of homers by these 2 teams on Friday, but today it's been a different type ball game. Only 2-0.
It has been a different type ball game. The pitchers are doing an excellent job working all quadrants in the zone, working up and down, in and out, keeping all the batters off balance and getting easy outs for their defense.
Jenna Holcomb leading it off for Tennessee. She grounded out to third base first time up. So what does Tennessee have to do with its approach against O'Leary? Now continue getting deeper in the ball game.
Well, they're going to have to take away that outside part of the plate. You know, she's living out there and she's getting called strikes, getting them looking for strike 3 on that outside part of the plate to these lefties, and they're going to have to make that adjustment. Either scoot up in the box or expect it and wait on it and drive it backside.
Heading the counts. Just missed upstairs. Holcomb's been doing a really good job at the bottom of Tennessee's batting order this season. Need somebody that can get on base because once you get deeper in the game, she'll lead off innings like this. Try to set things up for Leach and Segern, who are having such terrific seasons.
Yeah, that 9 spot is definitely pivotal for most lineups. You want someone that's, like you said, get on base so that your top of the lineup can come in and get those RBIs.
O'Leary with the 2-2. Bounce to third. Rhodes with the outs. Ground ball out's been big for O'Leary today. And the Texas defense made every play so far, no errors.
Yeah, Rhodes does a good job coming over, sliding in front of the 5-3 hole and getting the out at 1.
Also like that she kind of paused for a second, didn't have to gun the throw over there or throw off her feet. Really made sure she could get an accurate throw. Here's Leach, 0 for 1 in the game. It's a third again. Rhodes making both plays perfectly in this 5th inning. O'Leary continues to be in a good group. 7 in a row set down by her after she allowed a single to Phillips. She now waits on deck, but it's Segern to the plate. Up the middle. Segern with their second hit today. Now Tennessee will bring the tying run to the plate. Opportunity for Kaylee Phillips. She's been on base twice, walked in the first, and she had a 1-out single last time up in the 3rd inning. 320 hitter and Tennessee's top home run threat with 9 long balls this season. Ball 1. Nine homers, tied for 11th in the country. That misses just upstairs. Phillips already with a home run. 4 runs batted in over the course of this weekend. Now Mike White will go out to the circle. This pitcher, O'Leary, falling behind 2-0.
Yeah, Coach White is going to go out there and just, calm her down, reassure her that the game plan has been working. You need to be aggressive, go at these batters, get ahead in the count so that you can work off the plate and get them chasing or catch them off guard on the outer half of the plate.
Texas with their relievers, O'Leary, or Ellish, and Bollinger have been getting loose at times throughout this ball game. Potent pitching duo, and O'Leary and Ellish have combined for some great results for Texas. O'Leary 8-0, Ellish 6-4, maybe a little higher ERA, but still, when she's been counted on to get big outs in some of their big wins, she's done it.
And that's what makes teams successful, is having a pitching staff that you can count on. Not just one ace pitcher, but having a whole staff that works together to get those wins.
After the circle visit, Hobbs fell, so there's a strike for O'Leary. I really feel like if she's able to develop into an ace for this Texas pitching staff, a game like today on the road at an SEC team's home school, 5th-ranked team in the country, would go a long way for them. Gets the outside corner strike, 2-2. Even with runners on base, she has not let things snowball into big innings for Tennessee.
No, she's doing a great job keeping her composure. I mean, you are a freshman facing a number 5 team in the country, and she's doing an excellent job handling these Tennessee hitters.
Base hit all the way to the wall for Phillips. Segern will stop at third. It's a double with 2 outs for Kaylee Phillips. Tennessee's first extra base hit today, certainly needed it there.
So this ball's going to be left over the plate, and Phillips is going to capitalize that, cranking it down the left field line for a stand-up double.
For the Lady Volunteers, right fielder number 11, here's Haley Bearden.
Now the Lady Vol fans fired up. They know they've got 2 on, 2 gone, and Bearden at the plate. Already 2 homers this weekend, 7 on the year. Right to first. And the inning quickly ends with Burke. So 2 left on base. Tennessee has left 7 on this game, trailing 2-0. Tennessee trailing Texas 2-0 elsewhere around the SEC. How about the Crimson Tide? 31-0 on the season. Best start in program history for Patrick Murphy's bunch. Also, Ole Miss, a good upstate against Oklahoma State. Then Arkansas has a series win against South Carolina. Some teams stepped out of conference this weekend, but that's a good sign for the Razorbacks. Very talented South Carolina team. Another note on Alabama, they improved to 31-0. It was Alabama's spring break this past weekend, and the Crimson Tide spent all of it in Hawaii. The tournament against the University of Hawaii.
I'm super jealous.
31-0 for the Crimson Tide. Now we start the 6th inning. Patrick Murphy will always schedule a trip for one of his players close to their hometown, but for his team, Maris Schroeder's from Houston, which is nearby College Station, so she said, no, don't go to Houston, let's go to Hawaii. He said yes, and that's why the Tide were in Hawaii all last week. That's to Osborne. And she'll get the outs. Throwing out Iacopo to start this 6th inning. An error, also a miscatch a moment ago for Osborne, so she's glad to make that play.
Yeah, that's a big out for Tennessee right there. Iacopo has definitely been seeing the ball extremely well. So she does a great job coming towards the bag, setting her feet, not rushing the throw, making sure to get the out at 1.
Lauren Berg, first pitch swinging, gets a single to center field. That was only the 2nd hit today for Texas. The other was the RBI single with 2 outs by Iacopo in the 3rd. Now Shannon Rhodes. Fly out to right, and she struck out swinging last time up. Ball 1 from Rogers.
That's not a bad spot to miss. I mean, she's coming in right at them, low in the zone, inside to this righty, and just misses off the plate inside.
Lifted high to left. Holcomb with the catch. Now 2 gone.
The next batter for the Longhorns, Sydney team number 40, Miranda Ellis.
So Holcomb does a good job battling the sun out there, getting up underneath it, setting her feet up underneath the ball, making sure she's catching it while she's under the ball and not still running.
Trip to the circle with Ellis coming up next, due up next for Texas. Today at 5 Eastern, 4 Central, we'll have the 2nd game of the big 3-game series between number 7 Florida and number 8 LSU in Baton Rouge. SEC softball also available on the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere. That's really the series of the weekend in the SEC, the Gators and the LSU Tigers. Aaron Weakley still going over strategy with the entire Tennessee infield. Rogers so far today did allow those 2 unearned runs in the top of the 3rd inning. Other than that, a couple of hits she has given up. 3 walks, also 3 strikeouts. Now trying to get through this 6th inning. Now it's Ellis, power threat, homered against Tennessee on Friday. 0 for 2 today. Strike 1. All-American last year at Oregon. Got kicked off the pitcher, just past the first baseman into shallow right. Now the Longhorns will have runners on the corners with 2 outs.
So Ellis is going to drive this ball right back at Rogers, and she's going to be unable to make a play on it. And that's going to allow Ellish, with the infield hit and the runners, to advance to first and third.
Another trip to the circle for Tennessee. Now a tighter spot. Runners on the corners with 2 outs. Good hitter coming up in Washington. Matty Moss has at times been getting ready in Tennessee's bullpen. No move made here. Now, after Rogers was hit by that comebacker, Tennessee just wanted her to have a couple of warm-up tosses, made sure she feels right.
Right, yeah. Once a pitcher is hit with a ball that's put into play, you want to make sure that she is not injured in any sort of way or have an instance where it could affect the way she's pitching.
Tennessee getting its infield defense strategy ready to go. These fans on St. Patrick's Day. We'll see some runs for Tennessee, I'm sure. Find the pot of gold. Washington trying to strike gold. She makes contact and fouls it off. Also the green ribbons for a lot of the Lady Vols today, including Rogers. Orange and green really go well together. Of course, the Irish flag, it's what? Green, white, and then orange. Tennessee, orange. Burke lead runner at third. Only a 2-run game right now. If Texas could add on, that is great insurance, especially with how well O'Leary's been pitching. To the shortstop, Osborne, got it. And the inning comes to a close. Texas threatened, but did not score. Last of the 6 coming up. Tennessee trailing by 2. Tennessee trailing by 2 against Texas in what is a top, essentially 13 matchup. I was about to say 15, but the Longhorns ranked 13th in the country, and Tennessee is playing some really tough competition to start the season. And the losses we've seen already this season include to James Madison, Florida State, and Florida, a series that Tennessee won.
Yeah, Tennessee has definitely been tested early on this season, but I think that speaks volumes for how well they are playing, because they've played against the best already.
Also, some tough competition coming up. Tennessee will have to face Arkansas, Auburn, and Georgia coming up in April. Texas A&M in May. So, Ralph and Karen Weekly getting their team battle-tested and ready to go. That was one thing Ralph Weekly said when he first got the Tennessee job. Former Tennessee Lady Vol basketball coach, the late Pat Summitt, told him you had better schedule tough because it will make the biggest difference later in the year when you have to play in the NCAA tournament. That is a piece of advice they continue to follow to this day.
I think any advice from Pat Summitt, I would definitely take it to heart.
No doubt. There's Osborne fouling it off, 1-1. She also said it was a way for the sport to grow. Fans want to watch best teams come into Knoxville, and that's certainly been the case this weekend with Texas. It's been a really entertaining 4 days with not only Texas here, but a very solid program in BYU. Shaylin O'Leary, 5 scoreless innings. Rhodes has been a lockdown third baseman for the Longhorns. Makes another play here.
O'Leary just has Osborne's number. She has made her ground out to third base every single at-bat so far this game.
We visited with Karen Weekly earlier. She said that it's a heavy ball being thrown by O'Leary, and Tennessee's bats are just absorbing the pitch.
Yeah, they're not getting extended through the ball. They want to adjust to that outside pitch, let it travel, and get full extension.
Strike 1 to Ashley Morgan. She is grounded out twice to second base to Janae Jefferson. Now she grounds out to first, with Burke making that play on her own. More ground ball outs, and now O'Leary out away from 6 scoreless innings against Tennessee. Kaylin Hannon will try and break that up.
Picks up center fielder number 24, Kaylin Hannon.
Singled back in the second inning. O'Leary's only worked one perfect inning. That was in the fourth. She's had to pitch out of trouble for the most part today. Tennessee has left 7 on base. That outside corner strike.
That just says a lot about how well she handles her emotions out there on the mound. O'Leary there with that nice outside screwball coming in for a called strike again that UT has just not made the adjustment on.
Back up the middle. Hannon will keep this inning going with a single.
And Hannon wanted to prove me wrong. She made the adjustment. O'Leary comes back with almost the exact same pitch. And Hannon stays back on it, lets it travel deep in her stance, and drives it back up the middle.
Is that the danger of throwing same pitch in the same spot back to back?
Yes, especially against these experienced Tennessee hitters. They're super smart up there. They've watched a lot of pitches already, and so when they see that pitch again, they're going to make that adjustment. They're not going to let that mistake happen twice.
Now it's Ayala with 2 outs for the Lady Vols. Ball 1. Tennessee in the ball game hitting it 2 for 10 with runners on base, just 3 for 8 with 2 outs in the ball game. Scoring drought reaching back to the first inning yesterday against BYU. That's fouled away for strike as that went off the mask of Iacopo. She'll get an extra minute to feel right.
You know that has to shake her up a little bit because O'Leary throws pretty hard already, and anytime a ball is tipped, it's going to speed the ball up. So she got knocked in straight into the mask by a pretty hard ball.
Now the 1-1. Trying to hit that lower outside corner again. Ball 2. Down the middle of the plate, and that's fouled away. 2-2 on Ayala. What has been the put-away pitch for O'Leary when she needs that final strike, final out? What's she gone to?
It's that away from the lefties. She's been hanging out there up in the zone, off the plate, getting them either looking or getting them to chase.
Just fouled away, just past Ralph Weekly down the third base line. 2-2 on Ayala. Tennessee's won 4 in a row after the loss to Florida on Sunday. And to left. This will be tough. And the catch is made by Washington. And the inning comes to a close. So Texas keeping Tennessee off the scoreboard. It was actually DeMargosian that made the great grab for the Longhorns. Tonight at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, we'll have our SEC Now Selection Special, where we'll break down the brackets, preview all the games the SEC teams are playing in. You can always watch it on the ESPN app from anywhere.
Up first for the Longhorns.
In softball, 2-0 score, Texas leading Tennessee, top of the 7th inning in Knoxville. Ashley Rogers allowed a couple of unearned runs to the Longhorns in the 3rd inning. Otherwise, she has been matching O'Leary pitch for pitch. And a fly out to right to begin the inning for Parker. 1 pitch, 1 out. A good grab by Haley Bearden.
Bearden does a good job coming to the line and catching that ball on the run for the first out of the inning.
Now Alcazar to the plate. She was a pinch hitter last time up and struck out. She swung and missed at a very high rise ball. Really tried to chase for her strike 3 last time up. Good power hitter, though.
I think Rogers remembers that. So that just shows that she was a little anxious at that first at bat, and Rogers tries to come at her with a changeup first pitch, trying to get to see if she can catch her out front, not being patient.
Now 2-0. Rogers falling behind. Has had some walks today. 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Couple of homers this year for Alcazar. Big swing and a miss. Stayed low in the zone, got a pop up. Tennessee, though, couldn't get the outs. Phillips could not make the grab. Another tough spot where she had to go in the shade like she is now to the sunlight and make the catch.
Yeah, that's not going to be tricky to work with, especially for catchers when you've been in a mask all day and then you got to rip your mask off and then go out into the sun, and then you also have a mitt, which also can make it a little bit trickier to catch those fly balls.
Rogers still in the 2-2 count. Popped a foul again. Alcazar staying alive at 2-2. Alcazar 2 years ago led the Longhorns in home runs. Had a career high 6. 253 as a sophomore. Only played 19 at-bats as a freshman, hit .421, got off to a really good start in her Texas tenure. Now she cranks this deep to left. Holcomb is back, but it's foul. Home run distance off the bat. Still 2-2, though. She stays alive at the plate. Deep sigh of relief for Tennessee. Alcazar, a very good athlete. She won a national level punt, pass, and kick competition when she was in 6th grade. Competed in those competitions from the age she was 8 until the age of 15. She made it to the Houston, Texas punt, pass, and kick team competitions championships all 8 years she competed. She won 4 times, earned 2 berths to nationals. Now Karen Weekly comes out. Well, Tennessee closing out play in the Tennessee Invitational with this ball game against Texas, and then the Volunteers will get ready to head back to work first against Liberty and then at North Carolina before big weekend series coming up against Arkansas, 17th ranked team in the country, back in conference play. Trip to Missouri after that. Hopefully it'll be warmer in Columbia, Missouri from March 30th to April 1st. Typically, Tennessee has gone there in the past in softball. It's been very cold. Back at home against Auburn, the 6th to the 8th. Two and 2 in Alcazar.
Oh, babe, let's go.
High rise ball again. That was what worked for the strikeout last time up.
Alcazar is not falling for that again.
Payoff pitch. Got her swinging. 2 gone.
Rogers with the KO.
So Rogers comes again with a rise ball, but she just brings it back down a little bit in the zone, makes it more tempting, and Alcazar just cannot lay off.
set for Texas, center fielder number 7, Reagan Hathaway.
Rogers 1 out of the way through 7 strong innings where she has not allowed an earned run. Just those 2 runs back in the 3rd inning. Hathaway fouls off the first pitch. Even if this game does end in a Texas 2-0 score, what do you think the main things Rogers can take away from this start?
She can take away that she hasn't allowed any solid hits from these Texas hitters, and she's facing a tough offensive lineup. So she's kept them off balance and has just had them have all these little mishits and pop-ups and ground balls, and that's exactly what you want to have as a pitcher. Just be super efficient and get quick outs.
Yeah, Texas entered this ballgame hitting .348 as a team, 10 homers, 21 runs batted in. Will prove to be one of the better offenses in the Big 12 this year. Zone 1 on Hathaway. She reached on a fielder's choice last time up. They're all 0 for 3. Outside corner strike, 2-2. Rogers hoping to put away Hathaway, get this game to the bottom of the 7th. Tennessee will have Holcomb, Leach, and Segern due to the plate. Four strikeouts for Rogers. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes to Hathaway. Now the 2-2. Right to second. There's Leach. That's the inning. Nothing doing for Texas. Last chance for Tennessee coming up, trailing the Longhorns 2-0. Texas fans that made the trip to Knoxville hoping to go back to the Lone Star State with a win against Tennessee. Right now they are 3 outs away from picking up that victory. 2-0 lead. Texas grabbed 2 unearned runs, top of the 3rd inning, and they've been riding that ever since. And also, it's been a solid performance from Shaylin O'Leary. 6 scoreless innings against a great Tennessee offense. Now Lady Vols will have Holcomb, Leach, Segern, 3 lefty batters due to the plate. Extra circle visit just to make sure that Texas is ready for what will be a tough bottom of the 7th inning, especially with the hitters that Tennessee has coming up. Segern has been solid for Tennessee with 2 of the 6 hits in this ballgame. A couple of singles, including her last one with 2 outs in the 5th. Deep in the air to left. This one is off the very top of the wall. It's a 2-out double to keep this game going for Tennessee. Barely missed being a home run.
So Segern does a great job making that adjustment to that up and outside pitch and taking it backside almost over the left field wall for a stand-up double.
Darren Margosian got it quickly back to the infield. So Segern with that double. 10th of the season, only the 2nd extra base hit Tennessee's had today. The other one came from Kaylee Phillips. And now Treasury Poindexter with good speed takes over as a pinch runner at second base. Conversation with Mike White and the umpires. That comes to a close. Texas an out away from a win. Now Tennessee, though, as the tying run to the plate with Kaylee Phillips. Poindexter, the pinch runner at second base.
Step out for the big orange, the catcher, number 8, Kaylee Phillips.
Phillips sitting 280 with runners in scoring position, but this year she has been excellent. excellent in two-out situations, hitting .500, batting with 2 outs. Tennessee needs her to come up big here. O'Leary needing 1 more out for a complete game shutout. It's strike 1. She has singled, she has doubled, she has drawn a walk, she's gotten on base, and 3 trips to the plate. One swing can tie it up. Right to third, Rhodes with the catch, and the Longhorns get the win. Texas defeats Tennessee 2-0. It's the first time the Lady Vols have fallen at home this season. An impressive 2-0 victory for the Longhorns. And today, it was O'Leary on St. Patrick's Day with the gym. 7 scoreless innings against Tennessee.
She did an excellent job by keeping those batters off balance and allowing her defense to get those easy outs.
So Texas can celebrate a win to close out its trip to Knoxville. So, for Fallon Catalano, I'm Roger Hoover saying so long from Knoxville, where the final score is Texas 2, Tennessee 0. To watch this entire game on replay, as well as other games in our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of the SEC ESPN Network.